Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out the Rude Tour of Britain. Parental advisory, explicit content. This video contains footage of British weather that some viewers may find distressing and some rude words. All right, y'all.
I'm standing on top of a mountain in Wales called Fanny Big. The Fanny Big. It's going to be a long video.
Y'all be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe. For my American friends, in Britain, fanny means vagina.
I'm standing on top of a mountain in Wales called Fanny Big, which I think we can all agree is absolutely hilarious. But it's not the only silly place name within these great British Isles. In fact, there's hundreds of them, literally. And what I'm going to do in this video is something a little bit silly myself.
Yo, Fanny Big is beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous Fanny.
British Isles. In fact, there's hundreds of them, literally. And what I'm going to do in this video is something a little bit silly myself. I'm going to visit some of the very best from the bottom of the country to the very, very top, all in one trip.
Wow. That's a lot. Y'all, he's doing the hard work for the rest of us.
So first, a parental warning. Of course, this video contains a lot of rude words, most of which I can't actually say out loud for fear of being punished by the YouTube gods. But if you've got kids in the room,
I don't think they care.
Maybe don't. And secondly, I'm not going to be visiting every single silly place name within Britain because I've got better things to do in my life. But I have picked them on a criteria of how much they make me smile or frown. But if you do know any more that I've missed out, please let me know in the comments.
Which ones make you frown?
Yes, hello and welcome to Britain, the land of Shakespeare, Burns, Coward, Bronte and Thomas. A land whose language has gone on to dominate the world, yet a land of stark contradictions. We love a bit of smut, a bit of innuendo, and the occasional double entendre. And not all of it is very subtle. It's a giant cock and balls on a hill! We've got a lot of silly place names, many of them just utterly bizarre.
Gurney, Slade, and Vinegar. Yeah, that's weird. Bizarre.
But many of them actually quite a little less innocent than that.
Fingringhoe. Fingringhoe.
So I've set off on a journey from the very south coast to the very north coast to visit some of the rudest, crudest, and downright silliest place names this country has to offer.
Wonderful.
It's a journey of 1,300 miles and 18 individual places, taking in narrow country lanes, long busy motorways, bright sunshine, lashing rain, incredibly distracting rainbows. Rainbow! And lots.
If you can't see it because I make the screen smaller, it says this is what an early midlife crisis looks like.
And lots and lots of sitting in traffic. Now, I'm not going to include many street names because there just are so many, but actual settlements, hamlets, villages, hills, and, in some cases, whole towns. That's going to...
Whoa, what? Penis tone? Penis tone. Wow.
That's going to make this whole thing a hell of a lot more challenging. So join me, the thinking man's northern monkey, for what promises to be quite the adventure. So after Fanny Big, this is my first proper start to the journey. And you can see already.
Y'all, I'm making the decision to not bleep out any of these names, so I'm going to say them. Usually I bleep them out, only because I think it's funnier, not because I don't want people to hear me say the words. It's just, I think it's funnier to beep them out. But I'm going to say them in this one. Shitterton. There, I did it.
Street name there, Shitterton. Seems to have bottled it there, don't they?
Shitterton.
Although I can't blame them. Imagine having your street address and the village you live in.
Oh, yeah.
That word. Yeah, I don't blame them.
Well, I guess so. I think they should be proud of it. You know?
Yeah, very pretty village. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what you can expect from a place named like this.
Well,
but yeah,
shit in the streets.
Worth a little stopover. Look at that poo corner. I like that they've leaned into it. But anyway, yeah, very pretty.
They did lean into it. Pooh Corner. There's an H at the end of Pooh, so maybe they mean Winnie the Pooh.
Village. Let's move on. Next up were two places that were almost impossible to find, especially...
Hang on. Show me on a map. There it is. It's like one little street. Where is it exactly? Oh, way down there. Okay, so he's starting down there. It's a beautiful little town. Mulberry Cottage. What's up with that? That's beautiful. These rooftops seem flammable. Okay, moving on.
Especially in the rain. The sad
Droop
little
Farm.
Droop Farm, which had just one tiny sign outside, and the completely unmarked Ass Hill, a short country lane that led down to a farm and didn't even have the courtesy of a signpost for me to pose next to.
Aw, Ass Hill. Show me on a map. Okay. Yeah. He's moving on up. I think it's fitting that Ass Hill is near Shitterton. Don't you? No photos of it. Ass Hill. There it is. Why is it called Ass Hill? Maybe there were donkeys there at one point.
So after the sneaky shenanigans at the first place, and two very disappointing visits to places that had no proper signage, what I really wanted was to actually find somewhere that embraced their name wholeheartedly.
Cocking.
And then I found one. A cock in Old English is a male bird, and the fact that it's also used as a way to describe genitalia is an unfortunate association for all domestic fowl
It's not
involved.
unfortunate.
But
It's
cocking in
wonderful.
West Sussex isn't even named after the bird, but according to the Cocking Parish Council website, it's named after Cocker, a Saxon warlord. The Doomsday Book calls it Cockingers, the word ing meaning people, so the village evolved the name to mean Cocker's people. So, not the thing you're imagining.
Well, that's
Next was a
unfortunate.
flying visit to
Hang
the
on.
first on my...
Show me. This is not... I don't consider this a map. This is a picture, a drawing, a piece of art. Show me cocking. There's cocking, y'all. Wonderful. Show me photos of cocking. Oh. Okay. Beautiful. That looks like where I grew up in Florida. That does not. Oh, cool. Oh. Okay. Lot of forest over in Cocking. That's good. Good for the cocks.
My list that didn't necessarily make me giggle like a naughty little schoolboy, but actually
I forgot to look up Droop Farm. I don't really consider that a rude name, but I need to look it up just for consistency. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's down there. $913 a night. Oh, that's picturesque. Is that an Airbnb? I think it is. $900 a night? Well, that is beautiful. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Nice house. Donkey Town.
frown at a level of confusion that can only be described as quite mild. Donkey Town is a neighbourhood to the western end of somewhere called West End, which, confusingly, is the west end of nothing very much. Donkey Town is a part of West End that was given to the housing of poor labourers working in the area at the start of the 19th century. Poor men, many of them soldiers from the Napoleonic Wars, lived here with their families in a level of poverty that stood out significantly enough that the place was labelled Donkey Town. Probably as a reference to them not being able to afford horses. Or possibly just as a cruel bit of name-calling by the local people. Still, pretty funny.
It is funny. Donkey Town. It makes me think of that song Funky Town, but also Shrek and donkeys. Donkey Town. It sounds, that there's something about Donkey Town. The way it sounds, the phonetics of it is funny. Donkey Town. Oh wait,
And then-
show me on a map. Show me on a map. Where's Donkey Town? Oh, it's closer to London. So that West End is not the West End of London, I guess? Show me photos of Donkey Town. Okay. Can I drop a little dude here and just check out Donkey Town? Oh, yeah. Is that the sign he was standing next to? It is. There's a red phone booth right there. That seems like a very rural place to have one of those, doesn't it? Birch Lane? Donkeytown. I would be proud to tell people that I live in Donkeytown. I love that.
And head eastward, swishing around the south of the M25 and spaffing off into the Essex village of, well, you can see it there for yourself.
What?
Okay, so here finally in one of the best named places on my entire list.
Fingringhoe?
It's this place. Let's go have a look around.
Fingringhoe. Okay.
Yes, so it looks like yet another little village consisting of mostly one road. But yeah, it's very pretty. Some nice houses, nice pub over there. And you can see the name. They're not ashamed to use the name, which is good. Although it's kind of a comical name. And it's kind of posh around here. I'm not sure how posh people feel about it. It's quite a crude name, isn't it, when you think about it? But it is one of them historical quirks because the name, historically, has got a fantastic meaning. Marooned in the salt marshes of Essex, the village can boast to have once been a small Roman port, serving the nearby town of Colchester.
Okay.
The name is quite benign. Finger simply describes the shape of the land, and hoe refers to it jutting out into the water. That might not be so obvious these days because of the shifting sands of time, but go back far enough and that description was probably more accurate. It's kind of what you'd imagine a stereotypical English village would look like. It's got a little village pond, it's got a church.
Beautiful.
It's got one pub. There's a red telephone box over there as well. So,
another one.
But it is kind of just one street. So a very small place.
Wait. There's books in there. Oh, they've been turned into one of those libraries. That's cool.
Over there as well. So, but it is kind of just one street. So a very small place. Kind of cute. Look at the size of that tree. So I wonder how people actually who live here and all these places I'm visiting actually feel about their name. Because it's quite a nice name and it's an ancient name, and this one has, you know, a proper meaning to it. It's quite a nice meaning. It's just unfortunate that it has a bit of a crude sound, let's say. But yeah, I suppose if you just embrace that, find the funny side of it.
Yeah.
And try not to think about it too much.
Oh.
So this is, I suppose, the village green. Very small little, with a nice oak tree, and of course the sign. Here we go. Welcome to Finn. My odyssey now took
Fingringhoe. Just say Fingringhoe, right? Show me your map. Fingringhoe. Where are we here? Oh, we're on the East Coast, y'all. Show me photos of Fingringhoe. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. Oh, the tractor makes it look like America to me for some reason. Cathedral? Oh, wow. I wonder how old that cemetery is. Wow. Oh. Wow. Beautiful. 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 Welcome to Fingringhoe. Please drive carefully through our village. I like Fingringhoe.
Me northwards, that is to say, into East Anglia. Next on the list was another lane, this one bearing this name, but like Ass Hill bared nothing else, not even
Slutshole.
Slutshole Lane is possibly the result of an administration error sometime before the Victorian era.
Really?
The first bit possibly started out as slutch, which is an old word for mud.
Okay.
I was just trying to put my waterproof pants on. Why? Because the day has turned. It started off beautiful and sunny this morning, and now, as you can hear and see, it's rain. I'm in North Norfolk. The next place, yes, North Norfolk. The next place I want to visit on the list, and I need to get out and get a very quick shot of the signpost and then get back in the van. But to do that, I've got to put my waterproof pants on. So yeah, it better be a good sign, this. Right, here's the sign in the village green. Great Snoring. Brilliant. Right, let's get out of here. Great Snoring is not only a place name I can actually say
Hang on.
without fear.
What about Slutshole? Oh, is Slutshole in that city? Slutshole Lane. Okay, yeah, it's just a road, but not just any road. It's a Slutshole Lane. Very nice. Where are we here in the scope of things? Okay, yeah. On the East Coast. Okay. Whatever you would call that protrusion.
Next place I want a shot of the signpost and then get back in the van. But to do that, I've got to put my waterproof pants on. So yeah, it better be a good sign, this. Right, here's the sign in the village green. Great Snoring.
Great Snoring.
Right, let's get out of here.
Great Snoring. Yes. No photos? Looks like farmland mostly. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So Britishy, huh? Picturesque. Look at this. Look at that. Dope. Continue. Great Snoring is not only a place name I can actually say without fear of retribution, but another quaint English village named after somebody who ran the land here prior to the Doomsday Book. A Saxon. I'm surprised I'm seeing red phone booths in all these little towns.
By the name of Snar, or Sneer. And alright, it's not exactly a rude place name, but it's funny. And funny is good enough reason to visit anywhere, in my experience. The road now took me westward, and as the weather changed again, I was clearly missing something from my life. I'm just having a break, just north of Great Snoring, admiring the non-view. So yeah, this is North Norfolk, and like the rest of East Anglia, it's just flat. Where are the hills? Most of the view actually when you're driving through East Anglia is just hedgerows. But the view, the distance you can see at any given point is about a mile and a half, and that's it. There's just no vantage point you can see. Where are the hills? It's been a long day of driving. Although I was now leaving East Anglia behind and crossing the fens. Fen. Thank you. Before bravely exploring into Lincolnshire. Stopping the night at a unique and quirky campsite was a welcome relief from all of the driving of the previous day.
A bus?
And with the sun rising fast and a clear blue sky, I was refreshed, kind of, and ready to hit the road again. So here's one I didn't plan on visiting. This is just something I've just happened to pass through.
Anton's Gowt.
I had to stop and take a look at this. So this is Anton's Gowt.
Anton, stop eating those cold cuts.
So, yeah, I don't know who Anton was, but I do feel very sorry for him.
Show me your Anton's. There's an Anton's Gowt in, Boston, UK. Anton's Gowt. Where are we? Okay, yeah. Northwest of Great Snoring. Beautiful. Yes. Kayaking. A farm? A canal? Oh, that's one of those locks, right? For the narrow boats, looks like. Trees. Canal. This is beautiful. Gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely morning, beautiful and sunny. Nice place to stay last night. Yeah, very quirky, very cool, very hippie, very me, on brand. And a spontaneous visit to somewhere called Anton's Gowt, which I just spotted on the way, which what makes this journey so wonderful is that you just can spot things and go, yes, that'll do. But yeah, a lot of driving today, so I'm heading north, and all the places I'm planning to visit are quite spread out, so it's going to be a lot of driving today. I've already done over 500, nearly 600 miles since Fanny Big. So yeah, I'm doing all right with the driving though. It's not getting to me yet. Today might be the day. This is my morning face, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. I'm very tired. And it's a lot earlier than it looks. But anyway, let's hit the road.
Hit the road.
Right, so you all know that there's a Boston in Lincolnshire, right? After which Boston in America is named. Well, did you also know there's a New York not 10 miles from Boston?
I did know that.
So yeah, everybody, welcome to New York. I didn't think I'd be visiting New York on this trip, but there you go. And a very pretty place too. Not very many skyscrapers, but a lot of flat farmland and a few houses and quite a busy road. The straightest road I've been on in ages. Quick potted history of these two spontaneous.
I did know there was a New York in the UK because I remember thinking New York City in America should be called New York. Where is it exactly? Oh yeah, okay. Yes. There's a petrol station. There's the sign. What's this? Number 7. Don't know. There's the back of the sign. Okay. All right. Moving on.
Spontaneous visits then, as I know you'll be curious. A Gowt is an old term for...
What's this thing? It's got it plugged in. What is that?
The history of these two spontaneous visits then, as I know you'll be curious.
Is that a solar
A Gowt is an old term for a water diversion, like a pipe or a flood trench, which would have been very common around these parts when the fens were being drained and the land claimed by agriculture.
Okay.
And while New York in the New World is named after the Duke of York, New York in the Old World is named after a city in Yorkshire, which is a different county altogether and doesn't seem to appear on maps until after New York in the New World was established, making this a newer New York.
Oh, so that should be New York. Okay.
And speaking of Yorkshire, I now headed westwards into that county to the delightful village of Penistone.
Oh, Penistone.
Penistone stands out because it's actually quite big compared to the other places on my list. It's a small market town just outside Barnsley with a rich industrial history, and once sat on a railway line connecting the northern powerhouses of Manchester, Leeds and Sheffield. Its name comes from the word Penistone, probably named after the ridge nearby called Penning. Pen meaning hill, ton meaning farmstead. Pretty harmless then.
Yeah.
At this point I could have spent all day bounding around the various dodgy Yorkshire place names, but stuck with just Upperthong, a tiny hamlet on top of a steep hill. Although I could have easily gone to...
Hang on. Let's back up to Penistone. Show me on a map. Oh, yes. We're getting into the central area. Wait, I lost it. Wait, is that it? There it is. Yes. Penistone is kind of small. Show me photos of Penistone. Oh, a railway bridge, an old wall, railway bridge, a tree, railway bridge, ruins, oh, farmland, vault, that looks like a reservoir or a pond. Beautiful. Y'all, Penistone is beautiful. Hang on, he had a list here. Booze, crackpot, giggle swick, hoo-hole, horodiddle, Kirkby overblow, long tongue, scrog lane, lower thong, neither thong, sex how, tinklecock bridge, twattleton beck, wig twizzle, Willie Toft. Y'all, these names are extremely British sounding to me, and they're just barely gross. Like barely, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. They're not bad words. They're just on the edge.
They bounding around the various dodgy Yorkshire place names, but stuck with just Upperthong, a tiny hamlet on top of a steep hill. Although I could have easily gone to one of its rival hamlets, Lowerthong and Netherthong. Both hilarious. Luckily, there was a sunny game of cricket to drop in on. But all this had brought me dangerously close to where I live, in Manchester, so at this point I turned northeast again and powered towards the famous Wetwang.
Wetwang. Upper thong, show me. Yes. Oh, it's sort of between Manchester and Leeds. Okay, I see what he's saying. Cemetery. Beautiful. It's so green. Just as I say that, now the snow's there. Mushrooms. Acorns? Mushrooms. Snow. Wow. Lot of snow. Okay. Upper thong. Oh, Wetwang. Wetwang.
Back in Yorkshire, the sun is shining, the skies are bluing, and the place names keep on a-coming. Here we are in Wetwang. What a name. Yeah. Right, good place to stop. Let's have a look around this place, shall we? Looks quite nice. There's a sign up there that says Village Hall. Let's go check that out. Right, here we are. Here's the Village Hall, the Community Hall. Wetwang. Quite new as well.
2000.
Yeah, that's about it, really. Once again, we can only turn to the Doomsday Book to confirm that the Wetwang that existed in 1086 was substantial enough to be noted by the writers. The source of its name isn't clear, but the prevailing hypothesis is that it came from the Norse Wetwanga.
I don't know, I think it's pretty clear.
Meaning a place of legal action.
Oh.
Today it sits on a busy crossroads, but like many of the other places I've visited, it mainly consists of one road with a surprisingly low number of shops.
Another river!
Thankfully, Wang isn't used widely enough in British English as a synonym for, well, you know what. So the village embraces the name.
Good.
A quick stop in a part of Durham called Pity Me was an easy bag on the way northwards.
What?
Although it did feel like it...
Hang on. Wetwang. Oh, I see what he means. Okay, yeah, we're back east. Show me photos of Wetwang. Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow. Yo, people in Wetwang are all about this art. I want to party in Wetwang. Dogs. Oh, are these real dogs or statues? Because their eyes look pretty intense. Okay, yeah, those are statues. The eyes on these dogs look like demonic. Wow. A lot of art in Wetwang. Beautiful. Art. 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 National Girls' School in Wetwang. Of course there is a girls' school there. How else would I get... Oh, Mom.
It was summing up my mood as the day turned greyer and the road ahead showed no signs of ending.
Wait, I didn't look... Oh, I've heard of this. I looked this thing up once. I just want to go back and look up Pity Me. Pity Me is a suburban village of Durham, England, located north of Framwell Gate. It is simply a whimsical name bestowed in the 19th century on a place considered desolate, exposed, or difficult to cultivate. That's hilarious. What should we call the town? Pity Me. Let's call a vote. All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it. Wow.
At this point, I've done quite a lot of driving, and it's just starting to get to me a little bit. I knew there'd be a lot of driving involved, of course, that's the whole point, but I don't think I realised like how much of time it would take. Like, it pretty much takes my entire day between the bobbing and the weaving on the A roads and the B roads. It's kind of exhausting.
You're only halfway there, right?
We're
going up to Scotland.
So yeah, but anyway, we're getting there now. We're about halfway, I think. So just got to dig deep and enjoy the ride, enjoy the funny places coming up. But they are very spread out now. But there is something I'm going to miss, unfortunately, on the way. And that's the town of Cockermouth over in Cumbria, which is by far the greatest named anything
Cockermouth
in Britain. Cockermouth. It's just amazing.
Show me on a map. This is not a map. It is, but it's not my map. Cockermouth, UK. Cockermouth. Is that a choice? Oh wow. Yeah, he's getting way up there. Show me photos. Oh, I love that they painted this green. Don't see that often. Beautiful little town. Heels Opticians. Oh, hang out there. Castle Bar. Wow, this... Beautiful. What a gorgeous town. Oh, sunset. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Y'all, Cockermouth. Oh, I just got a warning that there's a fire. A wildfire. Oh, it's in Van Nuys. Look at that. Wow, y'all. Cockermouth is beautiful.
But it's just too far off my route. It's such a big diversion from this side of the country over to the other side. I can't justify it.
That's okay.
So, no cockermouth. My lamentation for cockermouth intensified as I pressed on, making a quick visit to Wide Open near Newcastle a welcome distraction. Although by this point I was...
I didn't realize, when he first said Wide Open, I didn't get that it was a derogatory name, but then I thought about it for a couple seconds and I see what he means. Wide Open. Why is it called that? Where are we here? East Coast, north of Newcastle, I think. Fire pit. Is this the only photo? Y'all, Wide Open needs some more photos. If you live near Wide Open, maybe go take some photos of the town and post it on Google Maps, so people like me can check out Wide Open.
Seeing crazy place names seemingly everywhere.
Oh, wait. Okay. What do we got here? Shotton, Shankhouse, Cramlington, Seatonburn, Killingworth, New York 2.0.
My mission to hunt down signposts of rude words like a giant game of Pokemon had led me to reflect on things. Not just in an existential crisis kind of way, which I was, but also on what makes a rude word.
Tickled trout.
Most cultures around the world have swear words, particular remarks uttered when you stub your toe on the coffee table, or you want to insult someone from anything from a mild to an extreme degree. But this being an island with a rich history in immigration, the English language not only contains a lot of swear words, but also a lot from a variety of different origins.
Look at this graphic.
The Romans brought many things to British culture, not least about 800 dirty words.
Dover.
Modern English, by comparison, has about 60 swear words at best. And that's when you include mild ones, like boobs. The Anglo-Saxons gave us the words tits, fart, and shit. And came from either French, German, or Latin. And some words that are...
Let me check that out. That's good. Tits, from tide, meaning, or then teat, used in its modern sense from 1920 onwards. Oh. Fart, from Furzan, frata, also may be from Icelandic freda, and Sanskrit pard, fart, okay. Shit, from skitan, became shite, which is still used as an alternative.
And came from either French, German...
Oh, French, foutre, to have, S-word. Has multiple modern uses. Thicken, to solidify, to rub, possibly from Indo-European puck, fatuo, to give, penetrative, S-word.
Or Latin. And some words that are today quite offensive were not always so bad. Cunt was one. And used even by Chaucer, who dropped it into Canterbury Tales a few times without worry.
Really? Variations include... I don't know if I can say this. I feel like in America, this is worse than in Britain. Like, this is like, you cannot say this word. The only things worse than this word in the United States would be like a racial slur. So I'm not going to say this.
There was even an alley in the city of London by the name of Groat Cunt Lane. There was more than one.
Wait, what? Where? What's it called?
By the name of Groat Cunt Lane.
Grope? Okay, wow. Is it still there? Share it on a map. I don't think it's still there.
There was more than one. In fact, many towns and cities up and down England had their own version of Groat Cunt Lane because of the association with prostitution.
Well, that makes sense.
And these weren't alleyways hidden on the edge of town, but usually quite central and close to where men might want to solicit such services conveniently.
That makes it easy, right? Everybody knows where it is. You can avoid it, you can go to it, but we all know. That's great.
Such as near docksides and marketplaces.
For the sailors.
Many such streets still exist and have simply changed their name, like Oxford's Magpie Lane.
Boring.
Like many other words, such as piss, a lot of these... Like many other words, such as piss, a lot of these commonly used words only started to become indecent in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Before that, some of the worst swearing you could do was religious in nature.
Okay, yeah.
The word cock was at one time used as a euphemism for God, as well as for the penis, leading to this wonderful pun in Hamlet by Ophelia. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock, they are to blame. England went through a phase in the 19th century.
Wow. Dear Cock, I just want to say thank you so much for this life I'm leading. Dear Cock, please bless this food to the nourishment of my body.
England went through a phase in the 19th century of extreme prudishness, where even words such as stomach, bull and stallion were considered too fiendish for delicate sensibilities.
Really?
The frankly meaningless word bloody is still considered rude to say in England even today, making it a victim of people clinging to tradition to an embarrassing degree. And if this road trip around Britain has taught me anything, it's that rude words don't just depend on the intention of the person saying them for them to be offensive, but also on the person at the receiving end being intent on being offended.
That's true.
Same with humour. What one person finds funny, another person won't.
I don't know how true this is, but I've heard that being offended is a choice. Like, as soon as we have that encounter with a word or an image, we can choose to be offended. We can choose to give in to our reactionary impulse of, oh my God, or we can not. I think that's true. But I also think that people make that choice without realizing it most of the time, right? Reactionary.
Humour. What one person finds funny, another person won't. Except Cockermouth. That shit's just pure gold.
Yeah. He made it to Scotland. Everyone's drunk.
So, after entering Scotland, accompanied by some obligatory drone...
The captions said, everyone's drunk. If I didn't have the captions on, I don't think that would be up, would it? No, it wouldn't. So is everyone in this B-roll drunk?
So, after entering Scotland, accompanied by some obligatory drone shots of
Harry
the landscape
Potter.
and of an ancient stone wall, which may or not be a plug for my last video, I headed onwards, conscious of time. Scotland!
Scotland! I like swing. Why is it called swing? Yo, there's jokes in the captions. That's brilliant. I should have had them on the whole time. I just turned them on. It says, why is it called swing? That's brilliant.
Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do very many streets
gardens.
lanes on this trip because there's just so many of them. And the two down south that I've already done were pretty much non-events. Well, the reason I've come to this one here isn't just because of the hilarious name, but because it has two dimensions to it. And the second dimension is best appreciated from up there. Yep, this is a short crescent-shaped street on this grey Pebble Dash estate, which on a sunny day like today seems perfectly benign and even quite harmless. Estate, which on a sunny day like today seems perfectly benign and even quite harmless. But take a look at the map and you'll see it sits at the end of a rather suspect bit of street design, which leads me to believe that somebody in the planning process when this estate was being built must have known what they were doing, right?
I love that.
From here...
Y'all, city planners would not get away with this in America. It wouldn't happen. There's too many prudes here. I love that this is oh my God, look at these sculptures. Show me on the map. Dick Garden. Dick's Market Garden and Greenhouse. That's not the same. No. Scotland. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right next to a primary school. 2 primary schools. 3 primary schools. Wow.
Must have known what they were doing, right?
Yeah, they must have.
From here it was time to enter
That's
the Highlands, and a long, spectacular road unfolded before me, with just 2 places left to visit on my list, both a long, long way away.
You can do it.
Still, I passed the 1,000-mile mark and had time for another reflection. Just past the 1,000-mile mark. It's quite a milestone, as you can imagine. And fatigue is setting in. And I know this is YouTube, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, this is amazing, this is so fantastic, you should do it. It's not. It's really not.
Well, okay.
It's really... Yeah, it's quite boring. And half the places I've visited, there's nothing there to see. So,
We
yeah,
appreciate
it's just
you.
a lot of driving and a lot of signposts. But anyway, we're nearly there now.
A lot of eating.
We've got to go north.
What?
I'm enough. I need some proper food.
Yeah. Bananas proper. A duck.
Not a bad place to
That's
spend the night.
beautiful. Yeah.
A peaceful night in the Cairngorms settled my soul a little bit, and bright sunshine the next morning on the Dornoch Firth saw me divert inland towards my penultimate destination, the tiny village of Bonar Bridge. Now you might think this place sprang up when someone put a bridge here, but...
Show me on a map. Bonar Bridge. Oh, it's not just a bridge, it's the town. There's the Bonar Bridge. Oh. I don't know what you call that. Bonar Bridge. Snow. Bonar Bridge. Snow. Is that Mr. Bonar? That is... Airdens. Okay. Trees, flowers. Bonar Bridge. Flowers. A river. Bonar Bridge. River. Snow. 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 Yo, Bonar Bridge is covered in snow. Stretch of water seen its... Now you might think this place sprang up when someone put a bridge here, but this narrow stretch of water seen its fair share of historical action. Through pre-Roman times, Norse invasions, and even a Jacobite rebellion. Jacobite! The name Bonar can be literally translated from Scottish Gaelic into English as fair ford. And not anything to do with anything erected around here to cross the watery crevice. Bonar. Finally, there was only one place left to visit for me on this great rude tour of Britain. And involved driving to the very top of the country and catching a ferry. Which meant a chance to advance without having to do any driving. Oh, nice. Yes, I was now heading to Orkney, a collection of islands just off mainland Britain that are home to an array of wonderful wildlife, fascinating ancient history, and spectacular natural geology. And thanks to its long association with Norsemen from Scandinavia, a lot of its place names are exceptional. But none more so than the great finale to my long, long journey. The crescendo to the masterpiece, the checkered flag waving temptingly at the end of the race. What is it? Twatt. Of course. And there you go, after a journey of nearly 1,200 miles or 1,900 kilometres, which has seen us go from one corner of the country right to the absolute Way to go.
Which has taken in little farm roads and massive motorways, forests and fens, the flatlands of East Anglia, all the way up to the mountains of Scotland. And we've visited such amazingly hilarious places.
Say the name.
Shitterton, Ass Hill, Fingringhoe, Wetwang and Dick Gardens. We've finally made it to our destination at last. Say it. Twatt. Yay! And you know what? There isn't even a sign to welcome me here. In fact, the only signs here are telling me how to go somewhere else. Well, this is it.
Beautiful Twatt.
What an end. What a finish line.
Oh, Norse. From Bvlt, small parcel of land related to Thwaite.
So I guess there's a few questions to ask after doing something as ridiculous as what I've just done. Was it hard? Yes. Was it worth it? No. But was it funny? Yes,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters. So keep laughing, peace and love, and what a fantastic country we live in.
Yeah. Way to go. Did I miss something?
Right, just a quick note to end this video. I actually come from Manchester, which means I had to drive down to South Wales just to start this 1,200 mile journey to Orkney, which means now I've got to drive all the way back down to Manchester just to go home, and I really do want to go home, but that's halfway down the island, and I'm really sick of driving. I really don't want to do it.
Take a plane, take a boat.
But yeah, this is definitely the most amount of effort I've ever put into a YouTube video.
We appreciate it.
I could do this.
You can do it, man. You got it. It's worth it. It sounds like a VW. Stay above Marshmallow Man.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
What a great video. Y'all be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe. That was delightful. I appreciate him going to all those places. Let's look up Twatt on... Show me Twatt. Oh yeah, oh my god, way up there. Not even on the mainland. Y'all, he went all the way up there just for that one little bit. Wow. Thank you. Be Here Now. Somebody had to do it, and you did it. And I hope people go to your channel and subscribe just for that. Not just for that, but for that. You know what I mean? Y'all, look at this twat. It's beautiful. It's very picturesque. What's this? What's that? Safety notice. Y'all, Twatt is beautiful. Be sure to go to Be Here Now and like and subscribe so you can go to Cockermouth again. I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.